renewable energy in Australia is really having its moment now, and that one of the standout findings from the Australian Renewable Energy Report was that investment appetite in Australia was at an all-time high, and you can really see that from an M&A perspective playing through in the types of deals that we're seeing. So many of the M&A transactions over the course of this year have been really competitive sale processes with a lot of active bidders and a lot of different bidders in that mix. So you've got everyone from specialist infrastructure funds to retailers to O&Ms playing in that space and bidding for high quality assets. And you can see the confidence, the investment confidence coming through in the Australian Renewable Energy Report. In the last 12 months, I think the two standout sectors in renewable energy have been solar and battery. And I think that's quite interesting. I think it reflects the fact that solar assets are, generally speaking, quicker to develop than other types of renewable energy assets like wind, where you've got a lot more land tenure that you need to secure in order to go through the development pathways. And I think battery is another really interesting area as well. Over the past 12 months, we've seen a lot of really high quality battery assets hit the market across the eastern seaboard in particular. And I think that is an interesting investment opportunity for proponents because of the storage role that battery assets play and the stabilisation of the grid. So those assets can really assist when there's no sun and when there's no wind. And that has been something that has played out quite strongly in the past 12 months. Australia's got a lot to offer for an investor in the Australian renewable sector. I think one of the strongest things that we have are really positive policy settings, and I think our government's done a great job of setting up a landscape that is attractive for investment. I think that the positive policy settings like scheduled shutdown of coal generating assets is playing a big part in the early interest in investment in Australia at the moment. And I think we also just have great natural resources here. We've got plenty of sun, we've got plenty of land, we've got plenty of wind, and those are all attractive propositions for investment. That there seems to be a bit of a backlog of development assets that are pending development approval. So I think in the next 12 to 24 months, we'll, for example, see a much higher level of investment in wind assets because there are a number of those assets that are sitting with the regulators who are very busy at the moment, like most people in the renewable energy sector. And once those assets are a little bit more progressed and they're a little closer to being at a ready to build or a financial close stage of development, we'll see a lot more of those on the market and available for investors in the next little while. I think that we've done a great job in terms of attracting investment to date, but I also think that grid and investment in grid is a big thing that we're going to need to grapple with over the next 12 to 24 months. And I think our government has a role to play in making sure that those policy settings remain positive for investment. And we are doing all of the things that we can do to continue to have a strong investment appetite in renewable energy assets in Australia over the next little while. And I think a big piece of that is going to be how well we can roll out our transmission network infrastructure and how quickly and efficiently we can do that in a collaborative way with rural communities and with landowners. And that is one of the challenges that I see for renewable energy in Australia over the next little while. So I think we are in Australia and in so many other countries transitioning exceptionally quickly towards a very different energy market and a much greener market. And I think that the challenges that has for resourcing and for skills and for new developments is huge. And you can see people doing things very quickly and grappling for the right skills and challenges. And I think that is an interesting aspect of renewable energy at the moment, because it is a sector that's just unfolding so quickly, and people are coming up to speed so quickly. In terms of my personal views about what we're going to see in the sector over the next 12 to 24 months, I think it's going to remain a very competitive M&A landscape. And I think what we're going to see is investors looking for creative ways to take themselves out of that competitive race.